What is up, everybody? This is JP representing jpfitnesspro.com. Today, I'm coming at you with a video talking about 3 very common excuses that you guys need to stop saying. These 3 excuses are being a personal trainer. Some of the most common reasons why people don't work out, they skip workouts, they're not consistent, and you just got to get rid of them. They're not good excuses, and you know that there are ways to get around these, but I'm going to help tackle them with really good solutions and give examples as to why they're not good excuses, and hopefully you guys can find your why to help you get back in the gym and keep working out. The first excuse, and it is the most common excuse that I hear, and I hear this multiple times a week from people who either fall off working out or they haven't even started yet. And again, it is one of the most easily fixable excuses. And usually people who use this excuse, if they don't kind of maybe acknowledge that it is an excuse, they just keep giving more and more excuses, saying that they don't have that much time, which again, that is not a good excuse. Everybody, and I mean I think maybe 1 out of a million people doesn't have 10 minutes 3 times a week, but I would say 99.99999% of you have 10 minutes 3 times a week. And I'm going to give you guys, or 3 or 4 times a week, but I'm going to give you guys an example of someone who would work out 4 times a week, 10 minutes each time. And remember, I just came up with this workout, these workouts in a couple of minutes. You could do 2 times a week or even 3 times a week, just depending on, again, how much time you have. But this is assuming someone only has 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, and that's it. And it's really not that hard. I could even make them shorter if I tried, but I figured 10 minutes is really short. It's really not that hard. All right, for example, so someone says, I don't have enough time. Again, that is a really bad excuse, and it's easy. You can get around it pretty easily. I come up with 4 workouts. The first workout is a pull-ups and a curl superset. You do a set of pull-ups, you do a set of curls, that's 1 set. Between after you do both of those for a superset, you're gonna wait 1 minute for a rest period, just 1 minute. So you do your first superset, you take your rest period of 1 minute, then you do your next superset. Overhead press superset with tricep extensions. So you think about it like this: you're doing a vertical press and a vertical pull. So you're doing the first superset, again, is pull-ups and curls. The second superset is overhead press and tricep extensions. A minute after every superset. You're doing each superset twice. So you're doing the first superset, the second superset, then the first superset again, and then the second superset again for each one twice. That's only 4 supersets, a minute rest period each. The supersets should not take longer than a minute a piece. So again, that's only 8 minutes. If you include a minute warm up and a minute cool down, that's 10 minutes right there. It's not that long of a workout. The second workout is jumping squats, glute bridges, and lunges, body weight lunges or weighted lunges, whatever is good for you. 30 seconds between each exercise. After you do each exercise, all 3, you take a minute rest after you do all 3. So it goes first exercise, 30 seconds rest, second exercise, 30 seconds rest, third exercise, a minute rest, and then rinse and repeat. You did the entire leg cycle for 3 times, which again is about 9-10 minutes. The third workout of the week would be, you're going back to the superset format for upper body. You're doing push-ups superset with French press, and the second superset is a bent over row superset with a hammer curl. Again, a minute between each superset for a total of an 8-minute workout. And if you include a quick warm up and a quick cool down, that would be 10 minutes. Your last workout of the week would be deadlifts, 30 seconds rest, goblet squats, 30 seconds rest, and then your Superman for your posterior chain work. And then after that, that would be the last exercise in that cycle. You take 1 minute rest and you do the entire cycle of 3 exercises 3 times, just like the other leg workout. Now, any of these exercises can be progressed over time. Let's just take the first workout that I said. For pull-ups, if you're not good at pull-ups, start with assisted pull-ups with bands. Use bands to help, or have someone assist you. Or you could put one leg on a chair and have that leg assist you on the pull-ups. Curls, just start with a lighter weight. Now, as you progress, you can work up to assisted pull-ups with less assistance, and then you could work up to your full body weight pull-ups, and then if you're advanced, you could work up to adding weight. And these you can do with any type of pull-ups, tempo pull-ups, muscle ups, things like that. So you can make these short workouts really advanced. So each one of these workouts can be properly progressed over time. So even though they're 10 minutes doesn't mean they can't be hard. And for example, like deadlifts and stuff, they don't necessarily have to be done with a barbell. They could be done with bands or dumbbells. So again, that I came up with real quickly, 40 minutes of working out for an entire week. Again, you can do this with 2 workouts, 3 workouts. If you really, really wanted to, you can do this with 1 workout. I still think that most people have 30 minutes for an entire week. They have 10 minutes 3 times, easily. So again, that just goes to show you that saying I don't have enough time is not a good excuse, and you have to get rid of it. The next excuse that I hear that is pretty big is I don't have money for a gym membership. And I've been there. There's been a time in my life where I didn't have a ton of money, and I feel you on that one. But again, it's not a good excuse. There are sets of bands. Let's just say this. You can create a whole workout program with body weight. Even though that's a little bit, you got to get kind of like creative, you can do that. There are programs out there that are body weight programs. If you have a park with a bar, if you have any type of water jug or any, even if it's like maybe an odd shape thing in your house that has weight to it, that's weight right there, and you can use that. But most people, when they say they don't have enough money, they mean they don't have enough money for a consistent gym membership. They don't mean that they have no money at all. Again, if you have no money at all, you can make a workout program all body weight. Body weight squats, pull-ups, push-ups, lunges, jumping squats, glute bridges, core workout, all body weight. But what I recommend is if you have at least $20, which most people do, and if you don't have $20, take a couple months to save it up. I understand you might be really tight on money. $5 a month for 4 months. But use that 20 bucks, buy a set of bands on Amazon. You can find a whole band set on Amazon. They come with multiple resistance bands. With bands, you have multiple ways to add resistance. You could start with the lightest band, you can go to the heaviest band, or you can combine bands to go even further than that. With bands, you could do bent over rows, you can do lat pull downs if you attach them to a door, curls, tricep extensions, lunges, squats, all types of stuff, and it's with resistance. So again, you have no excuses. You can do a whole workout program at home, and soon I'm gonna buy a pair of bands and give you guys example exercises for all types of exercises you can do. So again, you guys have even less of an excuse. We're trying to get rid of these excuses. Just get them out of your head, and you need to stop using them. The last excuse that I see that's used a ton is that I currently have, or I have had an injury, and I can't do X whatever, or I can't work out because of this. Again, I understand you have injuries. I had, when I was in the Marine Corps, I tore my ACL, I tore my meniscus very badly, completely tore them both. Like my meniscus, I tore on both sides, and I fractured the top of my tibia. It was a small fracture, but I still did it. All in one blunt force trauma where I fell off an obstacle course. So my knee was completely destroyed. Even to this day, I can't fully lock out my knee. But that doesn't stop me from doing leg workouts. Again, the biggest thing is you need to stop saying I can't do this X workout or whatever the injury you have is. Because there are ways around it. Now, let me preface this by saying there are very rare individuals who are maybe something very traumatic happened to them where they cannot do anything at all. Maybe me being in the military, I've seen some military members who maybe got hit by an IED or something. If you're in the very small population group where something very terrible, like a really bad car wreck or something, then you might, again, talk with your doctor and then find out what you can do. But for most of us who have an injury and are still somewhat functional, you just need to modify exercises. I'll give you a few examples. For squats, some people say I can't do squats because it hurts my knees or I have bad knees, which is a very common excuse that I see. Instead of doing traditional squats, maybe try box squats. That's a good change right there. That'll put a lot less stress on your knees because you need to limit that forward knee travel. I'm not one of those people who thinks that knees going over your toes is bad, because that vague statement is wrong. You can't just say knees going over your toes is bad. But if you have had knee injuries, for you, your knees going over your toes might be bad. So try box squats. If you have shoulder problems, instead of doing an overhead press, try a landmine press. That takes instead of going so wide, going a little bit more narrow can help stop all that grinding inside your shoulders, make sure that you don't have any shoulder impingement, or if you've had like labrum problems, rotator cuff problems, that'll help limit any type of weird range of motion that you might get in a typical overhead press. Another one is bench press. Some people, I was just talking to someone at the gym the other day about this. They can't do bench press because, or they either can't do bench press or you can't do full range of motion bench press. Well, whatever it is, if bench press is aggravating it, do push-ups. Push-ups are a more, I don't want to say functional because that word gets thrown around a lot, but they're more of like a dynamic movement. You know, being able to press your own body weight is a lot more efficient at being a human than pressing a bar is from a bench. Pressing a bar from your bench is not something that you find yourself doing that often unless you purposely put yourself under a bar. Pushing yourself up though is something that you're gonna have to do all the time. You fall down, you reach for something, you gotta push yourself up. And again, push-ups work your serratus anterior. Unlike bench press where you want to keep your shoulders pinched down and back, push-ups you do want to get that protraction at the top of the movement. So again, push-ups kind of are more efficient when it comes to natural human movements, and they also help work your serratus, which gets heavily ignored in a lot of pressing movements. Now, another thing that you need to think about doing is that in the last 5 years, three to 5 years, there's been a lot of studies showing that lightweight can build just as much muscle as heavier weights. So hypertrophy is same between light weights and heavy weights. So the only caveat is if you're doing light weights, you got to lift till failure. You have to get really close to failure or you got to lift till failure. I recommend going to failure if you're doing really light weights. But it's been shown when you do it that way, it's been shown to have the same gains in muscle mass as lifting heavy. So a lot of these problems only happen when you're lifting heavy. Heavy weight tends to be really impactful on joints, you know, tendons and ligaments. So if you have bad knees, it's typically, you know, typically comes up and starts getting like riled up. Your bad knees start to hurt when you do heavy squats. Well, don't go heavy. Just, I mean, you might, I'm sorry to say, but you might be one of those people who just can't train heavy, but that's okay. You can still get jacked in the process and you can take care of yourself. So what I would recommend is just limit your heavy movements. If they hurt you anyway, just take out the heavy movements. Just do light movements, but do them to failure. So instead of getting that joint stress, you're just getting that muscular stress. You know, you're getting that metabolic stress instead of that heavy joint impact. So again, I hope these excuses, you guys just stop using them, start looking at them in a more positive light and saying, well, that's not a good reason why I shouldn't be doing this. That's not a good reason why I shouldn't be working out. And hopefully I give you guys some remedies for those problems. If you have any questions, comments, please post them down below. If you have any recommendations for future videos, please post them down below. Please like and share this video. Share it with a friend if they use these excuses too. But I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.